That was garage, where this weekend we are pulling my transfer case back out because it's leaking. Flip you around. Don't you gonna love it? I'm gonna build myself a new center section, transmission mount, going from the original to a more standard urethane GM. Good news is my front drive shaft mates up correctly. Distance is good, which means my rear should also be as good. But anyways, while I'm waiting on my son to show up to help me drop this transfer case, he's ready to come out. And I know darn well I try to take it out, it's going to land on my face. All right, we're back. What I have is an 1.5" wall and some C-channel. It's 2" 1.5" internal. I've already cut one piece here, 5 inches across. I need holes in the center at 3 inches spacing, one on each end. We'll slide the 1.5" down the middle of it. Weld it in. Needs to be 24 inches overall. Once I do that, it'll give me the baseline from which to work from, which I need to build up to the transmission mount. So let's get our pieces cut, get them welded, drilled, and fitted. See where we got to go. Welcome back. Got my pieces cut, got my end plates, everything's drilled, got my center lines. I'm going to tack on the ends here. Oops, looks like I need to make my lines a little deeper. Get them squared up. Check fit on the Jeep. See how my pieces fit. Just like that. Gloves, gas. For those who are interested, I've had the Vulcan about 2 years. I've used the daylights out of it as far as a home user. I make no recommendations as far as a commercial unit, and I have no experience with commercial units. But for a hobbyist, I don't think you can go wrong with it. It definitely has more power than my old WeldPack 100 that I had that I converted to MIG. I need to get 220 right out in my garage, so I can't really use full power with this. But for what I can do on 115, she works. She does work. Let's get these pieces tacked in. Alrighty, got her tacked together. Take her out to the Jeep. See how she fits. Be right back. Well, as things have it, when you build custom pieces, all square, perfect on the bench. Didn't fit really well on the Jeep. So I cut my tacks. I removed the upper half, the C. I got some welding where my plates are made up there, my mounts for my lower links. It was easier just to cut the top off and we had to get these holes lined up correctly. Also wasn't quite parallel end to end on side to side. So anyway, that said, got her all welded up. Let her cool down, get her bolted back in, start taking measurements and making a transmission mount. We'll be right back. So guys, a couple of hours of work. This is what I've ended up with for my new cross member. Just 1.5 inch, 1/8 wall. Nice piece here. Good and solid. Got plenty of room over here for the exhaust to come through. Let me get her mounted up here. Give you guys a good look, see how it actually fits in the car. So anyway, here we are underneath my Jeep. Ouch, ouch. Looks like we're still smoking hot. Get this cross member put up. My other bolts. Here's my other bolts. So anyway, 2 bolts over here going in my lower mount. Same over here. 2 bolts going up into the transmission here. Sorry guys. Anyway, that's what we got up front here. See my spacer adapter plate up top there to get this narrower mount put in. What it looks like. How much room I've got up here for my 3-inch exhaust, which has got to go through here. Good news is everything fits.
Dogs are out back.
Alright, sounds good. I'll just stop my video here. So, I just got that look. Oh my god, I'm sorry I interrupted. I love my wife. She gives me a hard time, I give her a hard time. I guess after 30 years we've earned it. So, anyway. This concludes, put my head down here. This concludes my cross member build. There's some paint on it, needs to cool off, it's still pretty hot. Get it cool off, get some paint on it, put some fresh paint under here. Yeah, I need to slather paint all over everything in here, clean her up again, get her ready for this season. Transfer case is ready to pull back out once my son gets here. I know my strengths. Transfer cases over my head are not one of them. So once he's here to help me back this thing out, get it out, I get it resealed and back in. Get transmission set back down on the mount and cross member. Nice thing is once it's all said and done, it gives me a nice platform to build off of. It gets a skid plate to protect the transfer case. I could even build one going forward if I wanted to, but I've got probably, let's see, 3 to 3.5 inches, I believe, from the bottom of here to the bottom of my old pan and the transmission. So it might be all right. I'd imagine it would be. I would think me getting that far up into the chassis with something, I've got bigger issues to deal with. Welcome back to Atwood's Garage. Been working more and more on this Jeep here. Got my shifter cable routed and grommeted. Shifters in, 2-wheel high, 4 high, neutral, 4 low. Now I've actually got it in and I can get the spacing on the shifter. I will make a gate like it did from factory, but not too bad. Simple little gate. Crazy little shifter. Sometimes wild hares do come true. Underneath, get on my hands and knees here. I'm working on the other shifter cable. Did get the front drive shaft installed. Cross members all bolted in good and tight. Cooler lines are in. Transfer case, vents hooked up. Just have to hook up the harness. Rear drive shaft is being currently wet with paint, and plus I don't have bolts for my flange anymore. They were borrowed for somebody else's project. I have to get some new ones. No big deal. It's not like it's going anywhere tomorrow anyway. Anyways, it's a quick update. Let's continue on. Get the winter shifter hooked up. Oh, welcome back to the channel, guys. We'll wrap up this weekend's activities. We did make a lot of progress. I didn't get to the wiring harness like I wanted to, but I got a lot of other things that wasn't really on my list, but it was time to do them anyway. So we did get shifters in. Still need to make a plate and a grommet for over here. Put the shifters in. Nice winter's gate shifter. Transfer case shifter. Now I will make a gate for that. It'll look kind of like the winter's. Now I have it in position. I know where the throws are and how much that's going to be. We did get rear drive shaft in. Other than my pinion bolts went, well, they got commandeered for the Comanche, so I need to buy new bolts for the mounted on the pinion. Oh, excuse me, when I get crawl under here. Did get, like I said, the shifter cables are in. Everything's up out of the way. Good clearance for the exhaust. The drive shafts, I don't worry about anything whipping up on itself. Got the transmission cooler lines ran here. I got my fuel lines here. We'll do some more work on those. Got to cut down the other end and run new hose up to the manifold. Transmission cross member is made. Did good. Did take out the coolant line, steel coolant lines I made last year. They were rusting pretty bad and I really didn't like the placement, so I will fill that hole. Put the grommet back in my floor. Crawl back out under here. Did work in the back. So we got the transmission cooler mounted. Lines ran. I have an old Mustang GT radiator I'm kind of mocking up here to put in the back. I'm not sure if I want to use it or not. It doesn't have a thermostat cap welded to it. I really don't want to have to splice one in, so I'll probably get an S10 LS swap radiator. It's about the same size. Pretty much dimensions are spot on the same. Put it in there. Tank will get repositioned. The fan is actually sitting low. It's just sitting there. It won't touch the tank once it's up in place and on a shroud. We'll work on here. Got it all cleaned up on the inside. It was getting pretty messy. At least I can get back to finishing the engine side harness. And this is what she currently looks like. Need to finish the exhaust, wiring, yada yada. Need an alternator, power steering, oil. I need a plug for the oil adapter. Lots and lots of little things left to do. I did order new aluminum tubing to make new coolant lines to the back. They should be here this week. Should be much easier than those old ones I got wrapped up in the corner there. I wanted to wrap them and change the heat wrap. So anyway, guys, tired. It's been a long, hot weekend here in Ohio. As you can see, the Comanche's back, doing much better. We replaced the front cover with a solid style. Added a little extra fluid and a heavier gear lube. The Spartan locker that was in it was popping and releasing pretty harshly. It seems to be quieting up now. Much happier than what it was. So now it's an 8.8 410s locker and truss in the back. Disc brakes, obviously. It's Explorer rear end. Front's just a Dana 30 with 410s, a Spartan locker. Did truss it because the mounts have been tore up and it was just easier, and they had a sale, so I threw a truss at it. Not bad for a Dana 30. It'll hold him for a little while till this one finally moves to tons. I replaced the 8.8 and the JKR 44. I do have a 10.5 Sterling already. Need a Dana 60 for the front, but then I need all the mounts, etc., etc., gearing, lockers, etc., etc. So that'll be maybe next year, but probably a couple of years down the line, because that's time you add it all up, it's $4,000 or $5,000 from the time you get all the stupid pieces and tires and wheels, etc., etc., etc. Nothing in life's getting cheaper anymore except politicians. Actually, I guess they're not getting any cheaper either. They're the best money can buy. Anyway, this is Atwood's Garage. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, comment below. Y'all have a good evening.